As you see Hulk Hogan there in the background, next to Andre, a couple of Hulk Hogans. If you're in my age group, right? Hulk Hogan. I'm 44 years old. Hulk Hogan was the first superhero that I think a lot of people my age would relate to. And even if you weren't a fan of wrestling, you knew who Hulk Hogan was. Hulk Hogan was larger than life. And he was your hero, your childhood hero. You listened to what he said. You took your vitamins and said your prayers. And you watched that wrestling religiously. Growing up in New York, it was on Fox 5, then Channel 9 on Saturdays, and Hulk Hogan would used to fight. MSG, a lot of house shows, big star at MSG. I remember it. My recollections were of Hulk Hogan wrestling at MSG. A lot of house shows. We had the MSG network, so you were able to pick them up. And just that leg drop, the pose, that was Hulk Hogan. He had you emotionally invested. He had a connection with a crowd, something that a lot of wrestlers nowadays don't have. Dare I say, he was wrestling's version of Babe Ruth. Now I know there's guys before him like Bruno Sammartino, who was very huge with the Italian population, especially in New York. I remember, or you hear stories rather of. So he was big as well. He was huge and garnered worldwide attention as well. But Hogan, I think, took it to another level. What he was able to do. He was able to bring a regional company, and with his popularity, obviously with the help of Vince McMahon, they helped build it a global empire. He, I think, paved the way for a lot of future wrestlers. Paved the way where now all eyes were on the wrestling product with Hogan's popularity, because he was in movies due to him being so popular, to the Rocky movies. He was there. He was in I believe the Nanny, Suburban Commando, Thunder in Paradise. Don't fact check me on it, but he was in a lot of things because of his popularity with wrestling, and he paved the way for other people to come. They followed his model. Look, Rock followed Hulk Hogan's model. Wrestling, the movies, John Cena followed the same path. You could make a very fair argument that without Hulk Hogan, there is no Steve Austin, there is no Rock. This guy was one of a kind. Tons of Make-A-Wish requests. And as we started getting older as wrestling fans, it was no longer cool to take our vitamins, train. Sometimes we don't want to train. We just want to lay around the couch. And we kind of blocked out Hogan, where his popularity might have taken a hit. And then what does he do? He forms the NWO. The NWO made wrestling cool again. By the time the NWO came out, I was already in high school going on to college, right? And, oh, wait, no. No, well, yeah, high school, going on to college. But it was during that run, during those run of high school. And Hogan formed the NWO, and he made wearing wrestling shirts cool again. Everyone had the NWO black and white shirt. They were so cool. It was cool wearing wrestling shirts again. Very cool. And that run led him to come back to the WWE and facing The Rock at WrestleMania. And everyone loved him. After all those years, he was so good being bad as Hollywood Hogan. A different side, something that we would never thought that we'd see from Hulk Hogan when he went to WCW, who he helped lead a tremendous long spell of keeping WCW on top. But he came back to the WWE, WWF, and won a championship. That's how popular he still was. You know, what happened down the road, his personal life is his personal life. It proves that we all have our flaws. But as a wrestler, this man, Hulk Hogan, was the Babe Ruth. And, you know, we should learn, take note that not everyone is perfect. They all are human. And, you know, with Hogan, and, you know, he has 2 kids, I hope that they could all rest in peace. And it's just very sad news with Hulk Hogan, kind of the individual that defined our childhood as our 40-something-year-olds growing up in the 80s and the 90s. That was it. And he made me love wrestling, right? And I still watch wrestling to this day without even taking a break in those early 80s. He's the one that got me hooked to wrestling. I'm sure he's gotten a lot of people hooked to wrestling. So I hope all is well.